Welcome to the Evangelistic House of God podcast.
Unscripted discussions on social issues from a Christian's perspective.
Hello and welcome to the Evangelistic House of God EHOG podcast. I am Pastor Rod Harris, joined by Esther Smith.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up, Esther?
How y'all doing?
You all right?
I'm good.
And Pastor Steve, how you doing, baby?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All
I'm
right.
doing good.
Ready to
Esther,
go?
Yeah.
Doing it today, girl.
You like
Got the
that?
hair tight.
Tight. Oh. And I slept on it just like I told y'all. Like, on the back. You gotta keep it
You gotta
tight.
keep it tight.
Do you ever have an urge to like slide over to one side or the other side while you sleep?
You know what I do? But then I remember this is the side I gotta slide to because this is the side that needs flat.
Oh, hecky no. That is.
Does that bother
In
your sleep at all?
No!
Or you just so ingrained
Because I'm so
in it?
used to it.
You
Like,
just
I'm-
conditioned.
Right, I either sleep like this,
This
or I
is
can
too
turn
much.
this way because this is the side that gets. I don't want this side flat. So you
You know, I always had that image of Friday in my head.
Yeah, you sleep like this.
Right,
She sleeping on her hand.
right. That's kind of like me, but I don't want not my hands. Just gotta know.
Okay.
I hear you.
Gotta know what you
You gotta do
Good.
what you gotta do. Well,
Right.
as part of that is having good self-esteem.
It's true. And I got plenty of it.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing, right?
That's a
Ain't nothing
good
wrong.
thing.
Hey, if you don't have it, where you gonna get it from?
Exactly. It's not about conceit. It's about, just feeling good about
It's about
yourself.
knowing what you're worth and who you are.
Exactly. You got it now.
What
You got
mean
it.
now?
That word you said just gave it to you. Boom.
I just instilled, I just injected it.
Into
Now I
yourself.
got it.
That's right.
I didn't have it before, but now I got
You
it.
got it.
Only by Esther Smith. Gee, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No, you always had it though.
Well,
We
yeah.
talked about that before.
Oh, yeah. Even when I was, big fat guy, I was,
Still was very
hey,
confident.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Because even I didn't know you was a big fat guy till you said it.
That's how it's gotta be.
That's how and that's how
If
it
you
is.
ugly, you just gotta act like you ain't. Just keep going on. Just
Yeah.
keep pushing on.
True.
That's right.
True.
So let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
From a sociological perspective, when people think of self-esteem, it's usually because people don't think that they are worth, or they measure themselves by what other people think of them. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I got a quote I use as a tagline, a signature line on my email for work,
Okay. What is it?
and it says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your permission."
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
So
do.
I got some thoughts about that, but I'm gonna give you all a chance to talk about it first. What do you think that means from your perspective? What does that mean to you?
Well, from my perspective, I believe that, like you said, you have to give them to permission. So don't let their hang-ups or whatever other people's opinion monitor or judge what you do, as a person and how you feel about yourself. And, this is like when I was younger, my mama told me, I came to her and I said, Ma, this boy told me I was ugly.
Wow.
And, and so she was like, who said that? And I said, this boy, he said I was ugly. She said, okay, so what if you are? So I was like, wait a second. What I was expecting her to say,
right.
like, I wanted her to say,
You
but
thought she was
you
gonna get in the
fine.
car and go up to the school,
Right.
kick some butt.
Right. Show me the guy.
Right.
And she said, what if you are? And I said, what you mean? She said, are you gonna die tomorrow because you ugly? Or did you being ugly stop you from getting all A's? Or did you being ugly stop you from doing anything, from making up your bed, from living life, from having fun?
Right.
And I said, no. She said, well then, what do it matter if you was or not? She said, don't let some little boy who mad that he like you and he don't know how to tell you.
Yeah.
Make you feel less than. You still Esther. You still my little girl. You still perfect. You still, and she was just letting me know. And I was like, right. And that stuck with me because it's like, what if I was ugly? Okay, should I just die now?
Right.
And the world is not going to end.
Yeah.
And as long as you project the right, it's all about what you project anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in school, I saw some of the ugliest little boys, but no one knew they were ugly, like not even me, because they projected like, oh, I'm fine, and all of y'all want me, and I know you especially want me, and it was like, no, I don't, but you maybe not that ugly, but you know what I'm saying? Because
you're doing mind control.
Exactly. it's all
Over
about
brain control.
You got enough confidence, he must not really be ugly.
right. Like, maybe it's just me. me. Maybe I'm wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But it's about what you feel about yourself. Don't let other people just push that on you.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's how I feel.
Yeah. Now, see, okay, for me, I also had a tagline, and I got it really when I was really kind of young, like 18, 19,
Okay.
And I had some confidence issues, right?
Okay.
And so I remember one day we all had these self-help, these positive little cards that everybody was passing out. And so my card, I grabbed it and I looked at it, and it said, other people's opinions about you are none of your business. Right?
Right.
And I was like, okay. And it resonated.
I like that.
Yeah, it just resonated with me. And I used that. I held on to that card for years. And whenever I felt confidence slip, I would always remember that card.
Exactly.
And say, you know what? It's none of my business what these other people think about me. And then, the thing that I love about being spiritually minded, is that I have a relationship with God that is just beautiful. And I go and I can talk to him and he will tell me wonderful things about who I am and continue to encourage my heart and my mind and tell me how much he loves me. And the words say, when God is with you, it don't matter if the whole world is against you.
Exactly.
And it just kind of fortified me, and made me, just stand up, because it's like, hey, cease from men that got breath in their nostrils. It don't matter what man think, it matter what my Father think.
Right.
And so ever since I took that stand, and things have been wonderful for me. Yeah. So
A lot of people wrap their self-esteem up in how they look.
Yeah.
And how other people think they look, or what they think other people might think they look like.
True.
But self-esteem is more than just the way that people look and the way that they, from the outer appearance. Self-esteem can be a mental or a sociological issue or a psychological issue, where I have seen beautiful women with self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very low self-esteem. They don't feel as if they're as pretty as they really are, or they don't feel like people should treat them the way they do because they're pretty, and so they revolt into this little hermit crab, or whatever the reason is. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't want to talk as if I'm speaking from a clinical perspective.
Right.
But I do see where the impacts of low self-esteem have taken people from different perspectives.
Yeah.
Some people have a low self-esteem about the way they think, about their mental capacity.
True.
Yeah.
I know a guy that was had dyslexia as a youngster, and even as a man, he'll say stuff starting the sentence off with, I'm not that good at math, or I can't read that well. So, and it's like he's throwing it out there to try to take the pressure off of, so when I read this sentence and it doesn't sound correctly, you already know up front, I can't read well.
Right.
So this is why I'm not going to, I don't add well. So without a calculator, I'm not going to be able to figure that out,
Right.
And I think a lot of that really came from the fact that nobody did what your mom did for him.
Yeah.
First of all, they didn't give him the right tutelage and tutoring to help him, get up to speed for his age of reading and mathematics and that.
Right.
But then the other side of it is nobody really got behind him and said, look, you don't need to do all of that.
Exactly.
You are still you, and I love you regardless to whether you read fast or can add well.
Right.
You are still you.
Yes.
You are still the guy that God created.
Yes.
That's right.
And I think that that's so important. And I think that usually, like you said, when people struggle with self-esteem issues, it usually starts young. It starts young, and then it just gets worse, because whatever you start at a young age, you just get better at it unless you change it.
Yeah.
So if you start at a young age at being, having a low self-esteem or a low opinion of yourself, then older you get, the worse it's going to get, the worse it's going to get, the worse. And then people are cruel. So it's just going to get piled up as the years go by. And then let me kick you too, because you're already down there.
Right.
When
that's
you
just
say
the world.
people are cruel, I don't think no people are more cruel than little people.
Yeah,
Children. That middle school age. Those are some ruthless
the
things.
worst.
Yeah. I always talk about my daughters, but I got two daughters, and they are beautiful little girls. Of course, I'm biased because they're my
But they really are.
kids, but
They
they
really
are.
are, yeah.
But the thing is, like you said earlier, is that when you start early and things, they just become more pronounced. The thing is understanding that where I had issues at, I wanted to make sure they didn't have those same
Right.
issues.
Right.
A lot of the encouragement in the way I went about things was to try to make sure that they had everything that they needed to have, that they had the confidence and the self-assurity on the inside.
Right.
About who they are, their mind. Their mind is great, and their mind, they can do anything in this world, that they set their mind to do. And then as you get older, you have to change that a little bit because of the cruelty of children.
Yes.
Right.
And the kids will come back and they have some crazy thing that they said, and so it bothers them. But they, like you said earlier, the question, they gave them permission to get inside their heads and to take away some confidence that they had. And so it's my job to kind of help them get back to where they need to be.
Right.
And so it's like, hey, no, you're beautiful. You're wonderful. No, don't worry about him. You don't know anything about that person. You focus on you. Keep your eyes on the prize, the thing that's important that you are supposed to be out here gaining. You're going to always have people trying to knock your knees off and bring you back down to the middle where everybody else is.
Right.
And that's the sad thing, because we should be, encouraging people. Hey, you look good today. Hey, I like this sweater. I see you doing a little bit of something.
People don't do that.
I said, well, people should.
Right.
That's
get it.
And then that helps everybody. Then, now I'm encouraged to maybe say something good to you.
That's true.
Yeah.
One kind word will just go so far.
It's
Exactly.
so true.
But, every day, people, they look at you and man, I'm so tired of him trying to outdo everybody. Yeah, let me say something. I'm going to knock him down a couple of pegs.
That's
Let me get
jealous.
a couple of people. Let's get in together. And we're going to say something against you, because the group attack will certainly knock you down.
If I can't do it alone, me and them two together, we definitely can do it.
Right.
I remember telling my sons, especially early on in their junior high school years, they had this complex about being considered to be rich black kids because they in the suburbs or whatever. My point is, my children were growing up in school and they had this complex about being well off, and people used to tease them because they dressed well, and so they started trying to dress below my standard, which they wanted to wear grungy jeans, or they wanted to try to wash their jeans. I caught one of my sons bleaching his jeans supposedly by mistake because they were too blue, and he wanted to take some of the blue out of them so that he could blend in with some of the rest of the kids at school. And I had to really sit down and help them understand, this is not just an issue of you trying to blend in. This will turn into an esteem issue for you.
Yes.
You will end up with a complex of, if it ain't about the clothes you can buy and wear and afford, then it'll be about the way you think and about your brilliant mind.
True.
It'll be about your ingenious attitude. It'll be about your Holy Ghost. It'll be about your spirituality. If you allow people in and they're able to change the fabric of what you were raised in, then there's no ending it. And it'll just continue to grow fester from one thing to the next. And then the next thing you know, you'll be hiding the fact that you go to church and you don't want people to understand that you're a Christian and that you believe in God and that you love your family. And then it'll be, well, I can't show that I really love my wife.
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute.
Horrible.
And it just kind of shifts from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And so you really have to nip that in the bud. I think as parents, especially, we have to take time to talk to our children and understand some of the things that they're going through so that we can help them with some of these issues.
Agreed.
I agree with you.
The next thing I want to talk about too, and I don't mean to cut you off, so finish your thought when I say this.
Go ahead.
But I want to talk about bullying, because bullying is a very prevalent tactic that is used today, and it's getting worse because it's not just the physical bullying anymore. It's cyberbullying.
Yep.
There's social bullying. There's group bullying. Yep. Like you kind of brought it up, you kind of started talking about it.
Yes.
And I want to talk about that along with what you're about to say.
See, I've already forgotten what I was going to say.
Okay, cool. Well, let's just focus on what I want.
Let's just do my thing.
I wish that worked in everything that I would do, that I could just talk people's mind into getting what I want out of it.
Let's just do what I want. Just go ahead.
I just saw an eraser just going like this across my head. That's all right. Yeah, but bullying it's a real problem, and you look at and I think a lot of that comes from self-esteem issues.
I do.
From the bullier, right? And he or she have self-esteem issues. The one they're messing with have self-esteem issues.
Right.
And it's like it's just on both ends of the spectrum, right?
Almost who can be worse at making the other one feel bad.
Right. And that's horrible.
Right. I do. I think that that's a real problem there. And I think that's another reason why you have to build your kids up. It's good to have that good relationship with your children too, because a lot of times they're getting bullied and they don't tell anybody.
That's true.
Their self-esteem is so low that they think that there's going to be such disapproval of that, and that they don't want to go and talk to the parent and have them come up there and make, in their minds, make the matter worse.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So they want to just kind of keep it between themselves and
just deal with it.
deal with it. But there's
never deal with it.
Or cope.
But there's a problem. There's, when somebody is being bullied, they're looking at that bully. They've already labeled them as being superior to them.
Yes.
Exactly.
When they saw them, they had a judgment about it, and they already ranked themselves somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who's a bully, you already put yourself here, and then a bully starts to rise up, right?
Exactly.
And then the bully sees it, and it's like, I know I'm here. This is the bully down here. And so I'm going to rise up quick by attacking somebody that has some kind of notoriety or whatever in the room, So it's like they're preying on people. And the other one is just like, okay, well, you already have dominion over me. And so I'm just going to follow you anyway.
Right.
Yes.
And that's
Because they dress nice, or they're big, or they got something that just make it in your mind that you've already put yourself a couple of pegs lower. You know?
The sad part about that is that typically the person that is being bullied by those people tend to do everything in their power to gain their love and affection.
Yep, from the bully.
If that bully would give them 2 ounces of attention, they would take it in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just to say that they knew him and were friends with him.
And that's so ugly. And usually, another thing, you said that bullies have low self-esteem, or a lot of them have low self-esteem, and that's why they're attacking. And I think that's true, but I also have a different take on that, because I've met a lot of bullies that feel very great about themselves, and how dare you come in here and think you're someone too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's almost like they want to level it out and even it and push you back down, because wait, you're coming in here, you're the same as me. Wait a second, I gotta get back up.
But that's a self-esteem
That
issue.
is a self-esteem issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so what that person is feeling, if they had a healthy self-esteem, they would be comfortable with somebody else looking well and looking good, or being just as popular as them. But because they have a low self-esteem about themselves, a low appreciation or opinion of themselves, they are using other people to stand on.
I see.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you come up to me and you look just as good as I do, I got to break that down some kind of a way and crush your esteem so that I can at least maintain a little bit that I have left.
And that's so ugly.
Yes,
because they know they can't shine either in looks or a dress or personality or whatever, but they know that they have a physical presence, or maybe they got a silver tongue that they can go out and just cut you with or whatever.
Right.
And so they use those little weak
gifts,
moves
whatever they
to try to gain some kind of height, so that they don't have to feel bad about themselves.
That's ugly.
It is.
I think that, this bullying, when we talk about bullying, you can't leave out racism.
Yeah,
and because truly that is what racism is based on.
It's so true.
Lyndon Johnson, and I can't quote it, but he had a quote when he was president, and he said something to the effect that if you give the lowest white man the feeling that he is better than the highest black man, then he will not only give you his money, but he will give you all of his money just to feel superior. And that is so tripped out. It's almost phenomenal, because that he was able to sum it in that little quirk or whatever.
Right.
And I know I didn't quote it correctly, and somebody's gonna say that's not exactly what he said. So look it up and put it in the quote in the comments and show us what he really said.
Right.
But it was to that effect.
That's the gist. Yeah.
And when you think about racism, typically it is because they don't know that all black people act and look the same. They don't have a problem with the whole thing. What they have a problem with is that you are a threat to their self-esteem.
Right.
You could know more than me. You are smarter than me. You are more ingenious than me. You are more inventive than me. You are more creative than me. And so I must hold you back.
Yes.
I must hold you down. I got to put my foot on your neck so that you can't rise up, Because if I let you really know how smart you are, if I let you know how smooth you are, how creative you are, you might run things.
Exactly.
Right? And so I think that the more the world shrinks in terms of reach,
right,
and the more the minority, white people become the minority, the stronger their need to fight for notoriety has become.
Yes.
And that is why you see so much racism rising up all over again. I mean, not like it was ever gone anywhere.
Bullying. And it's not a form of bullying.
Yeah, you see it coming back.
Right.
I mean, almost with a vengeance, because they are like determined. Like this time, we are not letting them get a foothold over us.
Yes.
We let them get all the way to the White House. We can't let that happen again. We got to put them in their place. And if you had a true barometer about who you are, if you had real balance about yourself,
right,
it wouldn't matter who was standing next to you.
Exactly.
You just enjoy the gifts and the fruits that all people provide.
True.
And you use it to move everything forward.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I don't understand it because I'm not a racist, but I'm sure there's some problems there that people need to deal with from a self or psychological issue.
You know
what? I agree. Shoot, man, you covered that so well. I don't know if I got.
I was gonna say I can't say what I was going to say because you still haven't seen that movie Get Out.
Oh no,
and
you
so
can't talk
I can't
about
say
the
what
movie.
I'm going to say, but I'm telling you, we need to bring this back up.
All right,
again.
we'll bring it back up again after Get Out.
Because once you see that movie, everything that you said just now is like yes. But you have to see that movie, and I can't ruin it for you.
All right, so in our future podcast, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do a movie review, and we're gonna talk about Get Out, and we'll make that one of our content.
That'll
that's
work.
All right,
great.
cool.
That's
so I'm gonna go. I think we're gonna go see it tonight.
Okay, good.
So my wife and I we're gonna go check it out tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to go?
You know he's trying to go home to sleep.
Man,
you know he's going home to go to sleep.
It's Friday.
That doesn't
You
matter.
ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. You have a job. It's Friday, not tomorrow.
And that's why Friday is so special to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't have to do nothing.
Oh man. Anyway, back to my topic about
true. I'm sorry, we
self-esteem.
just got totally
Being
man.
a social issue. Self-esteem and bullying. Let's talk about it from a cyber perspective, because too often our children are looking for their acceptance as people based on how many likes they get.
Yep, that's so true.
I agree with you. And my solution is stay off the internet.
Right.
I just don't understand why that has to be. Now, I understand, and it goes again. Everybody, the parents nowadays, they want the kids to have everything, and
You gotta give
do
them everything.
And so now it's not enough. It's not enough to just talk to kids in school or even to call somebody on the phone. Now you got to send pictures, and you got to take naked photos, and then you so surprised when they fall into the wrong hands. Oh, I didn't know. Stop being stupid.
True.
And it's not just for the little kids; it's older people. Why are people sending pictures of their penis? I just don't understand that.
Yep.
Why are people sending naked pictures of their bodies to other folks? And then
Enticing. It's enticing.
They all in these chat rooms, and they all trying to talk about all those. It's like, hey, it's too much of that. Start communicating at home. Start doing your homework. Do some other things.
Do your homework
in your life.
Yes.
It's like, good grief. I do understand. Look, I'm not against technology. I love technology. I think it's great.
Right.
But I think that there needs to be balance with everything that we do.
Yes.
And there is no balance with these little kids. I think when parents allow the internet and all of these electronic devices to raise the children.
Well, yeah, that's the babysitter.
And but there's no monitoring of what's going on. There's no stopping the kids. They just in there all day chatting on their phones. They're playing video games, losing all kinds of social skills. I know this is going into something different, but that allows, for that type of thing to happen.
True.
If they just stay on the internet, and it's the same thing I talk to my own kids about. Stay on the internet to do your homework and get off.
Exactly.
Right.
There's nothing
Use
else
it for
there.
its intended purpose and be done
Right.
with it.
Why do you have to
worry about cyberbullying?
Why do you have to keep texting this kid that you just already spent 6 hours with in school? What more is there to talk about?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing. And every time it ain't nothing but trouble.
Yep.
Exactly.
Out there waiting
Ends up
on
in
it.
trouble.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, that was my little rant.
No, that's good. That's what I
It's
wanted to
just the
hear.
truth.
Right.
You got something on that one?
I was just gonna. I'm agreeing everything what he said. If you stay off off of those devices and keep on all day, you don't have to worry about being cyberbullied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then again, it's cyberbullying, which means that this person doesn't know you. They're not next to you. They
might know you.
What can they do? What they gonna put their letters in cap, and then that's supposed to do what?
Well,
now?
that hurts. That hurts, girl.
Cap letters hurt.
Capital letters hurt, especially if you put an emoji behind it. That can be very painful.
It's like,
you
think
put
about
that thumb that do like this right next to somebody's face. That ain't nice.
Okay, but just think about it. What is it actually doing to you?
Well,
What is capital letters
But that's
actually doing
that's
to
the
you?
world that they live in, this
Exactly.
digital stratosphere where they all out here. And instead of me just picking on you at school, now I got 24 hours access to
pick on
dogging
you
you,
on the
humiliating you,
Right.
saying ugly things about you and
But
against
to your
you
point,
and that
if
kind
you
of
don't
thing.
have any pictures on social media that they can put
Put a thumb down on.
But everybody got to
you
take a
won the
picture.
battle.
And the thing about it is, this stuff is not essential to life. It's not.
True.
And it caused more pain than good. And I
Yeah.
just don't
True.
understand why that has to be, why you have to be on there like that. I just don't. I don't.
And getting
I
your
don't see
feelings
that.
hurt off of capital letters.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't forget
I mean-
this one.
But maybe they need to get tougher with cyberbullying too. On the other side of it, is it something? I don't know what the laws are with that.
Well, yeah, they have some cyberbullying laws,
Yeah,
and
they
if you
getting
caught doing cyberbullying in school, you can actually get expelled.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's necessary.
I
I think
do
it's
too.
appropriate.
Yeah.
And because the argument that you'll get from most of the people listening or watching is, hey, why can't I be on the internet? Everybody else is. It's it's my right, and I ought to be able to have access to it
And without being
bullied.
And that's true.
But my point is, it's not just about the bullying. I just think that there's trouble waiting for you out there on the internet. I just think that it's not. I don't think you should live out there. I think that there's a balance, and I don't think that kids have a balance, and I don't think they are in the right mindset to have a balance. I think that that's where parents need to come in
Agree.
and govern and rule and watch over their kids and and to get into their business. It used to be a time where parents would do that.
Well, you can't come in my room.
They shut the door, lock the door, walk away. It's like, hey, where is this? I just don't get that.
You didn't offend somebody. They said,
We talk a lot. We keep
business.
saying children, but it is more than children that are being offended and cyberbullied. There are adults that have quit their jobs and have moved away out of states because of cyberbullying and group bullying. This is a real problem, and it's not just with children. So I don't want to just throw it out there like all children are stupid and it's a children's problem, but because it's not. This is a real issue.
Thing.
It's becoming an epidemic.
But you know what? It still goes back
to. So you saying that? I'm sorry.
So go ahead.
So if they cyberbullying at your job, you can't. There's nothing you can do about that.
No, not at your job. But people have left their jobs because of the embarrassment that cyberbullying caused them at their job, right?
Right.
So I was on Facebook and maybe I sent a sex picture of my genital area to my friend, and then it got sent around work, right, with my name on it, and now everybody know that was my genitals.
Well,
and so you quit your job because you can't face to go back to work like that.
So it goes back again to what I was saying earlier: is that people create issues being on the internet. This instant celebrity, instant fame type stuff. Where you taking a picture everywhere you go. Oh, I'm in Home Depot. Oh, I'm at Kroger.
Just ate a sandwich.
I'm at this.
Right.
This is my tea. I'm using the bathroom. It's like it's too much. It's too much.
This is the generation of selfies.
Yeah.
So. This is really a silly generation because you don't have to put yourself out there like that.
You don't.
Just because society tells you something, don't mean you have to do it. I never did everything that society wanted. When people had these crazy little outfits and stuff that they used to wear in high school, I didn't dress like that. If it didn't look good for me, I didn't want to wear it. I don't care what everybody is doing.
I'm not wearing my pants inside out.
And I raised my kids to be the same way.
Yeah.
I don't follow the trend. Don't follow what other people do.
But Khloe Kardashian said, if you do it, then you get followers.
They don't live.
That's another topic because I don't even know why they even famous. So
again, parents aren't available.
True.
They're not available, and that's what happens. And I know I'm having a hard time with the grown part, so I have to stay with the kids with the bullying thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I've never even heard that.
Yeah,
before.
it actually exists.
Yeah,
It does.
That's
I've actually heard of it
interesting.
too.
But stay off Facebook.
Well, you heard what Pastor Steve said. Y'all better stay off Facebook with these kids out there putting out their little pictures and sexual
I just
parts.
don't understand. What's the point? Okay, after you did it, now what?
Enticement.
Somebody might like it. You might get 100 likes.
What? Okay, now what?
Man, 100 likes, you will be popular.
100
Exactly.
people, it's exposed to
you're-
millions of people.
Yep,
So
you're
I get
private,
100 people out of a million. It's just like a speck,
Well,
right?
exactly.
yes.
It's like a speck of sand on the beach. So
Yes.
why do I care?
Because they said you were great.
Once again, we have given people permission
Exactly.
to come into our lives and influence us when we didn't have to put ourselves out there in the first place.
Pastor preach.
Pastor, preach, Pastor. Y'all heard what Pastor
Pastor
Steve
better
said.
preach.
I hope you enjoyed the conversation today on the EHOG podcast, the unscripted discussion on social issues from a Christian's perspective with Pastor Steve Harris.
Hey,
I like what you said today, brother.
Bob and Weed.
Oh, yeah. So y'all come on back. Give us some comments. Tell us what you think. Talk to us. You might have some answers for us. You might be able to give your perspective on this topic.
Amen.
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 EHOG Ministries podcast at EHOG Ministries. That is our email address. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker. We are everywhere you want to find us. Look for EHOG podcast. We are there for you, and we will see you soon. God bless.
God bless.
All right, good night.